It's Sierra and I'm back with another video. Hopefully there's not like lipstick all over my teeth because I put on a lot of lip gloss today. So you might see me like trying to make sure I don't have lip gloss on my teeth. So y'all just ignore that. Also, I'm on my lunch break, but you may hear my work phone ringing in the background. So just ignore that too. And also I do want to go ahead and give a disclaimer. This video can possibly be triggering for anyone that gets triggered when discussing or hearing discussions about rape, sexual assault, or abuse. So if you are somebody that would be triggered by that, keep that in mind. You may or may not want to watch this video if you're not in a space emotionally to be able to have these type of discussions or hear these type of discussions. So I am going to be talking about how to heal from rape, how I plan on healing or releasing sexual trauma. My sexual trauma is associated with rape, so I am going to be telling my story. It's weird for me to even be able to say the word rape because before I wasn't able to say it, I would always say sexual assault. I don't know why. That R word just could not come out of my mouth. So me even being able to say that word is a progress for me. So I'm going to be telling my story. I'm also going to be telling you all how I am releasing sexual trauma. I'm so tired. I have not been able to sleep for the past couple of days because it's been on my mind to do this video. It's been on my mind to create a ritual to help release sexual trauma. I got woke up in the middle of the night to make a sexual trauma candle. Like, it was just on my mind to make this candle to assist in releasing sexual trauma. So I will be discussing the ritual and how to use the candle after I tell my story. I do have some notes here because my brain is really foggy. And like I said, I'm like really tired. So bear with me. I'm going to try to articulate myself well. But again, I'm feeling a little bit loopy today. So for those of you who don't know, this is a spiritual channel. I am a spiritual life coach and I will be incorporating spirituality into this video. So if you are somebody that's not comfortable with spirituality, maybe you're more religious, this might not be the video for you. Even if you are religious, I feel like you can gain something from this video if you are truly wanting to release trauma. I do have a religious background. I grew up in the Kojic, Kogic church, which I think might be a Pentecostal, I don't know, and also Baptist church. So I have a strong religious background, but I'm no longer religious. However, I do believe that me having that background has been helpful even in my transition to spirituality. So we're not going to be doing anything evil or summoning bad spirits or anything in this video. This is just truly about releasing sexual trauma. That is it. So I do believe that it is important to actually feel your emotions. There are going to be times where you need to clear, cancel, and delete, which is basically as soon as you realize you're having a negative emotion or a negative thought, you basically push it out of your mind and you get rid of it. The air just came on, so hopefully it's not too loud. So, again, there are going to be certain situations where you do need to do that. If you're at work or if you're in a situation where you cannot be emotional, you need to be able to get a job done. You have something you need to do. You do need to have the ability to be able to push negative thoughts out of your mind. And a lot of us do that because we're in survival mode. We have to work. We have kids we have to take care of. We have a household to take care of, etc. But there are also times where you need to actually sit in your emotions. You need to feel your emotions. You need to get to the root of your emotions, understand where they're coming from, so that way you can release them. When you just push something out of your mind, you're not necessarily releasing it. So it could still be there subconsciously. We all have conscious and subconscious minds. So you may think that you are over something because you're able to quickly just push it out of your mind, when in fact it is affecting you in a subconscious way and you just don't realize it. You could also be attracting certain situations into your life that are not the best situations. They may be viewed as negative situations, negative relationships with people, because you have something that is unhealed within your subconscious or your inner child or something like that. So in order to release, it has to come up, and your emotions can't come up if you don't feel them. So you have to feel your emotions at times and have the intention of releasing them. So when you're sitting in it, when you're feeling the emotion, when you're getting to the root of what caused it, you have the intention of releasing it once you do that. So that way you don't have to deal with it coming up over and over and over again. If you just push something out of your mind, it's a possibility that it can keep coming up over and over again because it needs to be addressed. So I like to say address, don't suppress. In certain situations, yes, you may have to suppress emotions. But again, understanding when it's appropriate to suppress something and when it's appropriate to address something is going to be the key to healing here. So my channel is about showing how to align yourself with healing vibrations, and also how to align yourself properly to be able to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, how to manifest the things you want to manifest quickly. So in order to do that, I believe it's important to understand vibrational frequency, and it's important to understand the science behind spirituality. There's a lot of scientific data that can back up a lot of the things that are talked about in the spiritual community. So sometimes it may seem like it's something that's far-fetched, but if you're like me, I'm a very analytical person. So understanding the science behind something is very helpful for me to be able to understand, how certain things are possible. So I will definitely be talking more and more about that on my channel. I'm just trying to get the time to do everything on my channel, work, take care of my son, and all of that stuff. But there's definitely more coming about sound healing, about physics, about the energetic body, things of that nature. All right, so let's get to my actual rape story. So I was raped in 2017. So it's been about 4 years at the time of me making this video. And it was by an ex-boyfriend. So this is somebody that I was previously in a relationship with. We were not in a relationship. We had not talked for at least a year when the rape happened. So a part of the reason why I was even in the company of the person was because I felt like I needed closure from the person. Now I understand that you do not have to get closure from another person. And most often the other person is not even willing to offer closure to you. So, feeling like you have to talk to that person or you have to have a conversation with that person in order to get closure, understand that's not necessarily true. You can create closure for yourself, okay? Because again, if you're dealing with a narcissistic person, they probably aren't going to give you closure anyways. Like they're not really out to try to help you to heal. So we had broken up it had been about a year. When we were in a relationship, I did see signs that this person was probably a controlling person. We did have arguments. He was older than me. We had arguments where I felt like he was trying to control me. And I felt like he would be the type that I would have to be careful about, like if we were to ever get married, because I kind of got the vibes that he would be the type to isolate you from family and friends so they can control you. and I do have a son. So I was weary of dating this person. This person knew that I was weary of them. And so he did kind of change up his style, the way that he spoke to me, his demanding nature. He was very demanding. So he kind of changed that up a little bit. So I was able to, see other parts of him that I actually did like. I typically do date men that are older than me because of the maturity level. And also because I'm a mom, I have a son. So they tend to understand, that I can't be available at their every beck and call because I have a son to take care of. So I kind of felt like at the time when you date somebody that's older than you, they are going to be a little bit controlling. Also, he had a high position at his job. So when you deal with people that make a lot of money, that have high positions, they have a certain personality. That's kind of what I felt like. So I felt like he might be a little controlling, but never thought this person would actually rape me or sexually assault me. So we basically ended up breaking up without officially breaking up. He basically just stopped contacting me after a few arguments that we had, where I was just letting him know I just wasn't happy in the relationship. So then he disappeared. He disappeared for an entire year. And so I ended up moving on and getting into another relationship. So I was in another relationship at the time that this incident occurred. So he contacted me about a year later, and he was just, acted like he never just disappeared off of the face of the earth. He was just like, yeah, I'm back in town now. I had moved out of state. My mom was sick. I had to take care of my mom, but I just wanted you to know I'm back in town. I want to rekindle where we left off. And I'm just sitting here like, you disappeared for a whole year. You did not tell me what was going on. You did not officially break up with me. Like, you just disappeared, and now you're trying to come back like nothing is wrong. And he basically was like, yeah, we didn't break up, so I'm back. So I was just like, I don't buy that. I don't buy your story about your mom being sick. Even if she was sick, it just doesn't make sense for you to not tell me and not let me know. And he was just like, I didn't want to put that on you. I could not be the type of man that you needed at that time because I had to take care of my mom. And that I take care of, he was like, I make a lot of money. So, I had to take care of her finances and all of that stuff. But, I'm back. So I was just like, I need you to tell me the real story. Let me know what really happened. Because I feel like you either had got into another relationship, or because we were not getting along and I was not turning out to be somebody that you can control, maybe you just decided you just were going to just move on with somebody else. And because you might be a little bit narcissistic, you didn't want to give me the closure or the respect of ending the relationship. What I should have done was stop talking to him at that time and not continue to have a conversation with somebody that left for a whole year and then just tried to come back. But curiosity killed the cat on this one. I was determined to make him tell me what actually happened. Like, no, you're going to tell me the truth about what happened. So he eventually asked if he could come over to explain what happened. He did know I was in another relationship at the time. I told him I was not interested in a friendship or a relationship or anything like that, but I was interested in getting closure. So, okay, if you want to come over and discuss, what happened, that's fine. I felt like I needed to see his facial expressions, and hear the tone in his voice because we had just been texting. So I feel like it's easier for people to lie to you through a text message, whereas they can't really lie to you in person. So I allowed him to come over. And my son was home, but my son was in another room. My son never saw him there or anything like that. So when he came over, he stuck to his story about how You know, his mom was sick, but he just loved me so much that he wanted to do whatever it took for us to be in a relationship again. And, you know, basically, I know you're in a relationship now, but you need to just end that. I'm back now, like, whatever. Like, you know, stuff like that. So, I was just like, okay, well, this is not really going anywhere. So, you know, then we were sitting on the couch and he like tried to kiss me. So when he was trying to kiss me, I got up. I tried to get up, but he had a grip on me. I'm a very small person. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but I'm 4'11", and I probably was like 115, maybe like 115 at that time in weight. So you know, he's muscular, he's strong, men have natural strength. So even though I was trying to get up, he was not allowing me to get up. So he was holding on to me. And I was sitting here, he was sitting like right here. So he kind of like swooped me over in like this real quick, smooth move. He just swooped me over to like this side and kind of like held on to me, and then he started kissing me. So he was trying to kiss me and I was trying to get up, but I could not break his grip. So I started to kiss him back, and then that made him loosen his grip. So as soon as he loosened his grip, I got up and I was almost away from him, but then he grabbed me again and pulled me back down onto the couch. So at this point, we are struggling. I'm trying to get out of his grip. I'm telling him I'm in a relationship. I have a boyfriend. We can't do this. And he's just like, whatever, you know, I don't care about that. So eventually he wrestled me down on the couch. So I'm holding my legs close together. I'm trying to keep him from being able to open them. I'm also on my menstrual cycle at this time. So I'm telling him like, I'm on my cycle right now. I couldn't do anything even if I wanted to. And he's just like, I really don't care. So he eventually rips my legs apart. So I was holding onto the side of my underwear. So I'm just like, okay, he got my legs open. Let me keep my underwear up so he can't get them off. So he eventually just ripped them off. Just ripped them off, threw them to the side, and he's like, I'll buy you some new ones. So then he proceeded to rape me. And as he was doing it, he was just like, I decided to turn my head and look the other way. I did not scream. I did not yell. Did I tell him no? Did I tell him I didn't want it? Did I try to fight him? Yes. So was it very clear to him that I did not want it? It was. But I had to think about my son also. So I did not want to scream. I didn't want to yell. I didn't want to alert him. I didn't want him to come out and see what was going on and be scarred by that. And I didn't want him to turn his rage onto my son either. So did I like scream to the top of my lungs? No, I didn't. But did he know, and was he very clear that I did not want to have sex with him? Yes, he was. So as he is raping me, I turn my head to look out the window because I'm just tired of looking at him at this point. And he turned my head back and he's just like, tell me you love me. And I was like, no, like, I'm not telling you that. I don't even want you here right now. Why would I tell you that? And for some reason, me refusing to tell him that I loved him snapped him out of whatever he was in, whatever type of possession he had. I don't know. It kind of snapped him out of it. And he was like, you don't love me? Like, are you serious? I'm like, no, what are you doing? So he ended up getting up, and then I got up and I was just like, get out. So he had dropped his wallet. He had dropped his money. And I had a sectional at the time and I didn't have the pieces hooked together. So during the struggle, they had come apart. So he was just like, do you want me to fix your couch? And I was just like, no, get out. So he picked up his money. And then he just left. He had my makeup all over his shirt. He had on a white shirt and my makeup was all over his shirt because we were struggling. So a few minutes later, he texted me and he said, it's me and you. So I really wasn't sure what to do. So I just went into the closet because I didn't want my son to see me. So I went into the closet. And that's when I got the text from him that said, it's me and you. I don't know what that meant. And I didn't call the police that day. I told my sister, I think I told one of my sisters what happened. And I didn't call the police because, for one, it's kind of dangerous to call the police as a black person. Like, you don't know what's going to happen to you if you call the police. Second, I really didn't know if I wanted to go through the process, the process of talking to the police, going to the hospital, going to trial, things of that nature. So I just really didn't know what I wanted to do. But my sister ended up telling my mom, and my mom told me to call the police. So the next day I took a shower and everything, even though you're not supposed to do that. So the next day I did call the police. I had the underwear and the dress that I wore that day and all of that. So they took that with them and they had me go to the hospital. They told me which hospital to go to. So I went to get a rape kit. And when you get a rape kit, they basically give you like a shot to make sure you don't get any STDs or anything like that. And they take pictures of everything. They take pictures, so you have to like strip down basically, and they take pictures of your entire body. They take pictures of your private parts, which was very uncomfortable, especially because I was on my cycle. So that's kind of humiliating to have to go through that process after you've already been violated. So they did the rape kit. They had these people there, meet me there, called Friends of the Family. So they are an organization that help victims of abuse, victims of crime. So they had a representative there. She brought like a teddy bear, which I thought was cute. And she kind of was there to help me through the process. And they actually provide free counseling, and they provide free services to help you with the legal process. If you are needing to move, if you need to get out of your lease because you're afraid that this person may try to come back, they help you with, things like that, and it is free. However, if you do have a child, you do want to be careful because sometimes they might try to get CPS, Child Protective Services, involved. For me, they did not do that because my son did not witness what happened. He was not aware. He's not aware to this day of what happened. But you do want to be careful with that. But they offer group counseling and they offer individual counseling. So that was something that was really helpful. I did take them up on the offer to get counseling, and it was very helpful. So I did have to, speak with a detective and, go over the story over and over. And they sent the information to the DA, and the DA decided that he wanted to prosecute the guy that did it. In Texas, however, rape is a felony, and all felonies have to go before a grand jury before the prosecutor can prosecute. And the grand jury gets to decide if you get to go to court or not. You don't get to go before the grand jury. That person doesn't get to go before the grand jury. They just take the information that I guess the police give them. And from the rape kit, I'm not sure exactly what all they actually saw. You don't know who these people are that are making a decision on whether you get your day in court, which is very frustrating because they don't see you as a person. When you go to a trial in front of a jury, that jury gets a chance to see you. That jury gets a chance to hear you. They get a chance to feel you out. They get a chance to see and feel out the other person if they take the stand. So they see you as a person. They see your emotions, and not just a case that has a case number that came before them. When it comes to rape, especially acquaintance rape or being raped by somebody you don't know, that you do know, which most rapes are by somebody you know, not by a stranger, it's always hard. It's not cut and dry unless you have like actual video proof or unless the person admits it, because you know the person. So you most likely gave them access to you somehow. So it's always going to be a he say, she say. So the grand jury decided to do a no bill, which means we could not go to trial. And I guess they do that to avoid the other person having something on their record or something if it turns out they didn't do it. I don't know why they do that. I don't feel like rape is a situation where they should be sending it to a grand jury, because again, they don't get to see you. And it's always a he say, she say, not so much cut and dry when it's a situation where there is somebody you know involved and not a stranger, because they can just say, well, it was consensual. So even if their DNA is there, that's not really helpful, because they can just say, well, it was consensual, so of course my DNA is going to be there. So that was very hurtful. That was very upsetting. I felt like I went through this process. I did what I was supposed to do. I reported it, and I did not even get my day in court. I did not get a chance to confront this person in court. I almost feel sometimes like I wish I would have just confronted him on my own, because now we're not even supposed to talk to each other. So I had a lot of trauma from A, the rape itself, B, having to go through the whole rape kit process, and C, the grand jury just not even giving us a chance to go to court before a real jury to even see if this person could be convicted. So that's my story of rape. And now I am ready to go ahead and release the trauma that was associated with me having to go through that process. So what I decided to do is I decided to create a ritual, and this ritual does not involve me talking to the other person, because again, a lot of the times you will not be able to get closure from the other person, and me trying to get closure from that actual person is kind of what got me in the situation in the first place. So I created a sexual trauma release candle. So in the spiritual community, we have things that we use called intention candles. Some people might refer to it as candle magic. And let me explain something. Candles are a tool. Writing in a manifestation journal is a tool. Any type of ritual is a tool, meaning it is something physical that you're doing to help you get into the mental mind space or mind frame to be able to manifest something mentally. Everything works with our mental, with our minds, and with vibrations and frequency and things of that nature. So in order for us to manifest things that we want, we have to get on the vibrational frequency of what it is that we want. Everything has a vibration, okay? So that's why you hear people talking about vibrations and frequencies. Everything has a vibrational frequency, even things that you might feel like, are inanimate objects. Okay, so when we do a ritual, we use tools to help us to mentally get to where we need to be in order to do what it is that we're wanting to do, but it is not necessary. I rarely do rituals. For me, manifestation journaling works best for me, writing things down. But when it comes to something like this, it's not something that is necessarily going to happen right away. So I think this ritual will be beneficial even for people like me, who I can just manifest mentally without even having to do a ritual. So I made this intention candle, and this candle is red and orange. So it's red on the bottom and orange on the top. Orange represents the sacral chakra, which is where we hold our sexual trauma, and red represents the root chakra. Now, I decided to incorporate the root chakra into this because the root chakra is where we get our sense of security from. So whenever you have any type of trauma, I feel like your root chakra can be affected, especially sexual trauma. Your sense of security can be affected by that. So I wanted to incorporate the sacral chakra and the root chakra into this. If you want to know more about that, let me know in the comments, or you can go look it up or watch another video from somebody who already made one explaining what the chakras are. Okay. So we're going to be working with those two chakras for this. And on the candle, I do have a mantra, and I'll go over that in just a second. So One of the main parts of this is actually writing a letter. So you're going to write a letter to the person that assaulted you, to the person that raped you. For me, I wrote the letter to the person and to the grand jury because part of the trauma is associated with them just basically not giving me a chance to go to court. So when you are writing this letter, you're going to write everything that you would say to this person if you could. You're going to feel the emotions. If you feel sad, you're going to feel sad. If you feel angry, you're going to feel angry. If you need to talk to yourself out loud or talk to that person while you're writing, because I do that sometimes. I'm writing and I'm talking to them. Do it. Do whatever you need to do. The reason why you want to feel the emotion is because you want to get it out of your system and you want to release it. You want to put that energy into the paper you're writing on. For me, I like to write it in my journal for my ancestors, because I think that just adds a little bit more. So you're going to write that down and then you are going to burn it. Okay. You are writing it down with the intention of saying whatever you need to say, feeling whatever you need to feel, and releasing it. Then you're going to burn it. And when you burn it, you are releasing those feelings. You are releasing that trauma, so that you are no longer holding it. And I will show you all me burning this in either like at the end of the video or maybe another video. Okay, so you're going to burn it with the intention of releasing. Make sure you have that in your mind when you are burning the candle. So after you write your letter and burn your letter, you're going to get a glass of water or a bottle of water. I have my self-love intention water bottle here. It has rose quartz in the bottom and a mantra for self-love. So if you are interested in purchasing one of these, I think I have like 5 left and it's on my Etsy shop. But today I'm going to be using this for my sexual release, sexual trauma release. Okay. Now the reason why you want to have a cup of water or a glass of water is because we're going to speak our intentions of releasing the sexual trauma into our water. If you don't know what to say, don't worry. If you get one of these candles, the mantra for what to say is going to be on the candle. Okay. So we're going to speak our intentions into the water. The reason why we want to do that is because water is very intelligent and water is conscious. It is a current and it does carry information. And there are also studies that show that water is affected by sound. So speaking to your water and drinking your water can affect your mood and it can help you to manifest what you want. Our bodies are made of at least 70% water, I believe. So speaking positive intentions into your water and infusing your water with good energy before you drink the water can have a positive effect on us, since we are mostly made of water. And also, again, water is intelligent. It carries information. And there are studies that show speaking to your water actually can affect the water itself. Okay, so if you want to learn more about that, let me know, then I'll make a video on that. But in order to keep this short, we're going to speak our positive intentions for releasing sexual trauma over our water, and then we're going to drink it. Okay, and we're going to light this candle. This is a 7-day candle, so you can leave it lit for 7 days. It is made in a jar that's meant to be lit for 7 days safely. So you can do that without letting out the fire. Personally, for me, I don't like to leave candles burning if I'm not home or if I'm going to sleep. Sometimes I do because I forget. But if you don't feel comfortable leaving the candle burning for 7 days, just snuff out the candle. Don't blow it out. You want to actually snuff it out by putting something on the top of it, or if you have a candle snuffer, something like that, and then you can relight it. So you're going to want to basically say the mantra that's on the candle every day until the candle has burned all the way down. So you're going to speak this mantra over your water every day. Drink your water until the candle is all the way gone. That is going to help to train your subconscious mind to release the actual trauma. So the repetition of that is helping to train your subconscious mind, so that way you can actually release the trauma. So that's why you want to say the mantra over your water every day. And plus it helps you to remember to drink your water. Because people, if you're like me, you don't drink water, the way that you should. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and read the mantra. And this is what I came up with. So it says, I am grateful that I am a survivor. I am not mentally or energetically bound by rape, sexual assault, or abuse of any kind. I have released all conscious and subconscious fears, insecurities, and shame connected to rape, sexual assault, or abuse. I am cutting all energetic cords and ties to my abuser. All blockages resulting from rape, sexual assault, or abuse have been removed. I understand that I do not need closure from my abuser because I have the power to create closure on my own. I love myself. I honor myself. I am healed, discerning, and attracting connections that are for my greatest and highest good. So you're going to say that over your water. Then you're going to drink your water with the intention of all of that actually happening and being true. Okay, so now I'm going to show you all how to burn your letter. So I'm just going to rip my letter. Okay, so now I'm on my balcony and I'm going to burn the letters that I wrote. So I'm just going to roll these letters up, and I'm rolling them away from me because the intention is to get rid of the energy. So I don't want it coming towards me. I want it going away. So I'm rolling these up. I have a fire safe container here that I'm going to be burning them in. I also have a fire pit, if you can see it right here. I'm not going to use the fire pit today because I don't feel like it. So make sure you have a fire safe container that you can burn your letters in. So I'm just going to put that there. Again, rolling it away from you. I have some sage leaves here, so I'm just going to light some sage. Just to make sure there's no negative spirits or anything, because this person has a very negative spirit. So I'm just going to do that. You want to make sure you pray to whoever your higher power is, that they are protecting you as you're doing this. I have some pine, so I'm just going to light that too. Now we're going to burn our letters. I like to do this outside because I don't want smoke inside. I also like to take pictures when I'm burning the letters because sometimes I will get an actual message from the picture, like I will see an image in the fire. So I'll try to incorporate or put some photos of some of the letters I've burned before. I've actually seen a lady in my fire before, my flames. I've seen a phoenix before. So I'll try to incorporate. So you may want to take a picture of the fire, of the letters burning, to see if there's a message there for you. But that's it. So now my letters have burned. I'm going to leave this outside and I will go back in so we can finish out the video. All right, so we are at my altar now. If you don't have an altar, you can do this, wherever you want to, whatever special place you have where you want to actually feel comfortable and safe doing this. I have an altar, so I'm going to do it at my altar. So I'm just going to speak my mantra. Sorry, I'm out of breath from going in and out outside. So I'm going to speak my mantra over my water, drink my water, and light my candle. I'm going to take the top off. And I'm going to kneel down to do this so I can actually read it. I am grateful that I am a survivor. I am not mentally or energetically bound by rape, sexual assault, or abuse of any kind. I have released all conscious and subconscious fears, insecurities, and shame connected to rape, sexual assault, or abuse. I am cutting all energetic cords and ties to my abuser. All blockages resulting from rape, sexual assault, or abuse have been removed. I understand that I do not need closure from my abuser because I have the power to create closure on my own. I love myself. I honor myself. I am healed, discerning, and attracting connections that are for my greatest and highest good. Now that I've spoken that into my water, I'm going to light my candle. And I'm going to drink my water. Now, y'all don't need to see me sitting here drinking this whole thing of water. But you want to drink, you know, as much as you can at once. But if you need to drink on it, like, you know, throughout the day, you can do that too. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to do this every day until this candle has burned out. If you want to write a letter, another letter, and do it at the end, burn another letter at the end, you can do that too. And if you want to blow your candle out and not leave it going every single day, use something to smother it, okay? Don't blow it out. The best way is to smother it out, okay? All right, so now our ritual is done. Day 1 is done. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video and listen to my story. Please let me know if you plan on doing this ritual, if you need support or anything because of a sexual assault, rape, or abuse that you've gone through. Please make sure you let us know in the comments. You might find that somebody's gone through something similar and you all may be able to support each other. So again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Happy healing, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.